There's a forgotten farm powder that costs less than $2 per use. And under the right conditions, it can nearly double plant growth naturally. Not genetically modified seeds, not expensive synthetic fertilizer, just crushed volcanic mineral rock that farmers, blacksmiths, and ancient civilizations quietly relied on for centuries. And once you understand what this powder actually does beneath the soil, you start realizing modern agriculture may have buried one of the oldest farming secrets on Earth. In the shadow of Mount Vesuvius nearly 2,000 years ago, Roman farmers noticed something strange. Crops growing in volcanic soil came back thicker after droughts. Olive trees survived longer. Wheat fields stayed greener even after repeated harvests. The Roman writer Pliny the Elder documented unusual fertility near volcanic regions around 77 AD, describing dark, mineral-rich earth producing unusually resilient crops. Farmers crushed porous lava rock into fine powder and scattered it into exhausted fields before planting. They didn't know modern chemistry, but they understood patterns, and the pattern was impossible to ignore. The same discovery appeared again centuries later in Japan. During the Edo period in the 1700s, rice farmers near volcanic regions around Kyushu mixed black ash and mineral-rich stone dust into flooded paddies after heavy harvest seasons. The effect was dramatic. The roots thickened, the water stayed in the soil longer, and yields increased without the need for animal manure alone. Thousands of miles away in West Africa, farming communities near the volcanic highlands of Cameroon and Tanzania independently discovered similar techniques. Crushed mineral rock was added to dry soil before rainy seasons. The ground became darker, softer, more productive. Different continents, different cultures. Same result, healthy plants from mineral-rich earth. And then, archaeologists uncovered something even stranger. In parts of the Amazon basin, researchers discovered patches of unusually fertile black soil, now known as terra preta, dark earth. Some of these soils are over 1,000 years old, created by Indigenous South American communities, mixing charcoal, minerals, ash, and organic matter directly into depleted ground. The soil remained fertile for centuries, not seasons, centuries. Modern scientists studying terra preta were stunned by its biological activity. Dense microbial networks, higher nutrient retention, improved water storage. Even after hundreds of years, the soil remained alive. That changes how you think about dirt, because soil is not dead material, it's infrastructure, a living underground civilization. And this forgotten farm powder helps rebuild it. Imagine the soil beneath your garden as a giant rechargeable battery. Over time, repeated planting drains nutrients and trace minerals out of that battery faster than nature can replace them. Modern fertilizers often dump quick energy into the system like caffeine. Fast growth, fast depletion, then another dose. But mineral-rich volcanic powders work differently. They slowly release magnesium, calcium, potassium, iron, silica, and dozens of trace elements back into the underground ecosystem over time. The particles are porous, almost sponge-like, holding moisture and nutrients close to plant roots instead of letting them wash away. The effect is subtle at first, then dramatic. By the late 19th century, German agricultural researchers studying volcanic soils noticed they retained significantly more water during dry periods. In the 1930s, Japanese agricultural laboratories documented improved root density and crop stability in mineral-amended soils. Then came modern testing. In the 1980s and 1990s, agricultural trials in Australia, Brazil, and New Zealand began testing basalt rock dust and zeolite powders under controlled conditions. Some studies showed major increases in microbial activity, stronger root systems, and improved moisture retention during drought stress. One Australian field trial observed measurable improvements in soil water retention exceeding 30%. Think about that. 30% more water available during heat waves. That's the difference between a struggling garden and one that survives summer. And the powder itself often costs less than a fast food meal. You can actually see the transformation happen. Dead soil often looks pale and dusty, almost lifeless. Mineralized soil becomes darker, looser, almost like moist chocolate cake. Earthworms return, water sinks deeper instead of pooling on the surface. Life comes back underground first, then above it. And if these kinds of buried stories matter to you, subscribe and ring the bell. Because this channel exists to uncover the forgotten engineering, farming, and survival knowledge industries quietly pushed out of public memory. But here's where the story changes. Because once industrial fertilizer companies realized farmers could restore soil cheaply and naturally for years at a time, someone started doing the math. That's when the industry noticed. The global fertilizer industry generates over $200 billion annually. That number keeps growing. Because modern agriculture depends heavily on repeated chemical inputs. Nitrogen fertilizers create rapid, visible growth. Bright leaves, fast expansion, bigger harvests in the short term. But there's a hidden weakness built into the system. Many synthetic fertilizers feed plants directly while gradually exhausting the biology of the soil itself. Over time, soil can become compacted, acidic, and biologically weaker, which means next season often requires even more fertilizer. And that cycle is incredibly profitable. Now compare that to a cheap mineral powder that can remain active in soil for years. A one-time low-cost treatment does not fit comfortably inside a recurring revenue model. Suppression rarely looks dramatic. No secret underground meetings. No villains twirling mustaches inside skyscrapers. Real suppression is quieter than that. It happens through marketing language, through shelf placement, through agricultural education systems focused almost entirely on nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, while ignoring broader mineral ecology. Walk through most garden stores today and you'll see premium soil revitalizers selling for $20 to $40 per bag. Many contain basalt dust, zeolite, volcanic ash, or trace mineral blends, remarkably similar to the same substances ancient farmers used centuries ago. Same minerals, different packaging, 10 times the markup. And the labels often bury the active ingredients under vague phrases like enhanced mineral complex or proprietary soil enhancer. Think about that for a moment. A naturally occurring volcanic mineral gets rebranded, diluted, repackaged, and sold back at luxury pricing, while people remain convinced healthy soil requires endless synthetic feeding schedules. The modern soil treatment market alone is worth billions globally. Lawn care products, liquid fertilizers, growth stimulants, root boosters, moisture control additives, all recurring purchases. Because recurring problems create recurring customers. But healthy ecosystems don't generate monthly dependency. That's the dangerous part. And the science behind mineral remineralization keeps getting stronger. Researchers at the University of Cambridge studying soil degradation warned that intensive farming practices steadily reduce trace mineral density in agricultural land. Brazilian agricultural studies examining remineralizers found increased microbial activity and improved nutrient cycling in treated soils. Meanwhile, the United States Geological Survey documented the extraordinary absorption properties of zeolite minerals, which can trap nutrients and release them gradually over time, instead of allowing them to wash away during heavy watering. The mechanism is surprisingly simple. Imagine ordinary fertilizer like pouring a bucket of energy drink onto a plant. Fast spike, fast crash. Mineral-rich soil behaves more like a slow underground reservoir, constantly feeding the root system tiny amounts of nutrients and moisture exactly when needed. Healthy forests already operate this way naturally. Nothing in nature survives on chemical spikes forever. And once you understand that, you start seeing modern agriculture differently. Think about every dying plant people throw away each year. Houseplants with yellow leaves, vegetable gardens that fail midsummer, raised beds that become less productive every season. Entire lawns slowly turning brown despite constant fertilizing. Most people blame themselves, but often the soil itself is starving. If you've watched this far, you already understand more about real soil restoration than most people spending hundreds every year on fertilizer systems. Subscribe and share this channel because knowledge like this survives only when ordinary people pass it directly to each other. And there's another uncomfortable reality. Mineral depletion doesn't only affect plant growth. It can affect nutritional quality too. Several agricultural researchers have raised concerns that modern intensive farming may reduce micronutrient density in crops over time. Food can appear large and healthy while containing fewer trace minerals beneath the surface. Let that sink in. The problem isn't just weaker plants, it's exhausted land itself. And the solution may have existed beneath volcanic mountains, ancient rice fields, and indigenous farming systems for thousands of years. The industry didn't need to erase the knowledge completely. It only needed to make it sound primitive, old-fashioned, unscientific. But chemistry does not care about marketing campaigns, and soil biology doesn't care about quarterly earnings reports. Which brings us to the simplest part of this entire story. Actually using it yourself. Here's exactly what to do. And it's almost insultingly simple. The powder you're looking for is commonly sold as basalt rock dust, volcanic rock dust, glacial rock dust, or natural zeolite powder. Most farm supply stores, hydroponic shops, and garden centers carry some version of it. Online, a 10-pound bag usually costs between $10 and $15. That's enough for multiple garden beds. For houseplants, the cost per treatment can drop below 50 cents. Look for finely ground powder. It should feel soft and dusty, almost like ash or flour. Dark gray or black powders are common with basalt. Zeolite is usually pale gray or beige. Avoid decorative lava, rock chunks. You want maximum surface area. Now take 1 cup of powder for every 2 gallons of soil in containers. For outdoor garden beds, use roughly 5 to 10 pounds per 100 square feet, depending on how depleted the soil looks. You do not need laboratory precision. Ancient farmers certainly didn't use measuring spoons. Mix the powder evenly into the top several inches of soil. If the ground is extremely dry or lifeless, combine the mineral powder with compost or worm castings first. The minerals rebuild the structure, while the compost reintroduces biological activity. That combination is powerful. Then water deeply, slowly. The goal is saturation without flooding. You want the minerals settling into the root zone like fine sediment sinking through water. The soil should feel moist and loose, similar to dark chocolate cake, not sticky mud. Within the first week, many plants begin showing darker green coloration. Leaves feel slightly thicker. Wilting during hot afternoons becomes less severe. But the biggest changes happen underground. Root systems expand wider. Microbial networks recover. Moisture stays trapped longer around the roots instead of evaporating quickly from the surface. That's why the effects often become more dramatic over time, rather than fading away after a few days. For struggling vegetable gardens, many growers apply mineral powders once at the beginning of the season. Tomatoes, peppers, squash, cucumbers all benefit from stronger nutrient retention during extreme summer heat. There's a reason volcanic regions often become agricultural hotspots. The Earth already solved this problem naturally millions of years ago. Some old farming communities added wood ash alongside volcanic minerals to increase potassium content. Others mixed in crushed charcoal, creating a structure remarkably similar to the ancient terra preta soils discovered in the Amazon basin. Again, the same pattern appears throughout history. Different people, same discovery. Healthy soil depends on minerals, microbes, water retention, and time, not endless chemical stimulation. A homesteader in eastern Oregon tested basalt rock dust on 2 identical tomato beds during the summer drought of 2023. One bed received standard synthetic fertilizer alone, the other received compost and volcanic mineral dust. By late August, the mineralized bed retained moisture longer, produced thicker stems, and yielded noticeably larger tomatoes despite identical watering schedules. Same sunlight, same climate, different underground biology, that's the difference. And once you begin understanding soil this way, modern gardening advice starts sounding strangely incomplete. Roman farmers knew this. Japanese rice growers knew this. West African agricultural communities knew this. Indigenous South American builders knew this. Your grandparents probably knew pieces of it too before industrial agriculture replaced ecological knowledge with recurring product systems. Because a multi-billion-dollar fertilizer industry depends on people believing soil can only stay productive through constant commercial inputs. A forgotten farm powder quietly threatens that assumption. Because this knowledge never vanished. It was simply buried beneath branding, packaging, and profit margins. And the strangest part? The Earth itself manufactures this solution naturally through volcanic pressure, geological time, and crushed mineral rock. No patents, no subscriptions, no licensing fees, just chemistry, just biology, just forgotten knowledge waiting underground. Every share cracks the wall they spent decades building around information like this. Every subscription helps this channel keep digging deeper into the buried engineering, survival techniques, and forgotten science they hoped would stay hidden forever. And the next vault opens soon. Because there's another forgotten powder ancient shipbuilders used to stop wood from rotting in salt water for decades, and almost nobody alive today remembers what it was called.